Hello there, welcome to Kansas Customs. So we got the orange truck in here because I got an engine crane, and I also was able to get the engine and transmission out of the truck finally. Like it wasn't really that hard, not a whole lot went on besides absolutely torching this motor mount right here. Other than that, it came out pretty easily, and we're currently going to see how well it fits in here. After really looking at it, the transmission cross member, which is right there, I think that is definitely going to be in the way when we go to put the engine in. But we'll see. It's just a test fit, nothing too much, and I still have quite a bit of cleaning up to do here. So I want to get this hooked up to that and bring it up here and try to finagle it in. So, after taking a few measurements in the air, the engine is going to fit, but the transmission is just way too big for this firewall and the transmission tunnel for it to actually fit. Not exactly sure what to do right now. I am by myself, so there's not really much I can do. Even though I have the engine in the air, it can't go tall enough to go over the front right now. However, there's a lot of fabrication that needs to be done, especially to the firewall and to the cross member, because I measured from motor mount to motor mount and front to back. It will fit, and the motor mounts will fit in between each frame rail. It's just the transmission is just way too big to be able to fit under there. So I'm gonna do a little bit more figuring out, probably a little bit more cleaning of this engine bay and get that out and that as well. I kind of expected this when I pulled out the transmission, that it was going to be a little bit big, but I didn't think it was going to be so big that it won't fit in the transmission tunnel. I don't know, I'll figure something out. So yeah, for now I'm just going to clean up the engine bay a little bit. And I am going to start by taking out the floor, because it needs to come out anyway, because the transmission tunnel is way too small to fit that transmission over there. So we're going to get all this cut out and Mason's outside because I could hear him. But as you can see, like this, all this is just rusted and not, there's multiple holes in just this floor pan. So, got the grinder, got a cut wheel on it. Gonna quickly cut this out. Okay, now that we have this thing out, it's going to go right here. And look at all that space that we now have in the floor to put this transmission in. So let's do that right now and see how well this actually fits. Okay, so after hours of work, we finally have the engine somewhat set into the truck. So it took a lot. Like, we had the truck down on blocks. We cut out a lot more from the firewall just to make it somewhat sit in here. And I am also freezing because it was cold out there. But like, yeah, it's going to fit, but it's not coming out anytime soon. Okay, so a couple weeks have gone by and engine's in the truck, or still in the truck. But we have some packages which will make this engine and transmission fit a lot easier. So we are going to get right into that one first, and then we'll do this one second. Okay, so both of these are packages that I got from Holly, not from them, but off of Holly. So, right here. This is going to be our new transmission cross member. It will should essentially just bolt right up to the transmission and the frame. So there should be no modifications needed to get this to fit, which is really helpful. And we got the part number and some instructions and some more plates. Anything else in here? Nope. Okay. All right. Now, this one. This one is probably the most important package that we're going to get for this whole engine setup, besides what I just unboxed. Okay, so in here we have some new engine mounts that go onto the frame, and they offset so that this engine can be pushed forward off of the firewall. And we have two of them. You guys didn't see that. Okay. So, in this box, or our actual engine mounts. That scared me. Oh, I guess they're in one bag. Okay. So these are our actual engine mounts that will bolt right here, and we'll go on to the frame mounts. And this will make it a hell of a lot easier to get this engine and transmission into this truck, which is going to happen hopefully in this video. So these are going to make this project go a lot faster and a lot easier. So let's get those mounts off and try to put these ones on and see if they actually fit, which they should. If they don't, I'm gonna cry. Alright guys, don't do this at home. This is probably not correct, but it is the only way I have as a use impact rated socket. If I can get it on. Hey. This is why you use impact rated sockets. Hey, look at that. It's off now. Now time to do the other side. Okay, now that we know a little bit more of what we're doing, this side should be. Now one of two things is going to happen. Either this is not going to fit down there, or it's going to come off. It fits down there. I think I just stripped it. No, it's loose. See, what'd I tell you? It came off. Bing, bang, bam, just like that, this is out. two. And the other two on the far side, which is really hard to see. Okay. Big boy don't fit. Small boy too. Not powerful. There we go. Finally, holy crap. Bracket is off, and it looks a lot different from the other one, which is kind of scary, but it'll be fine. Now, we get to put the other brackets on, which are actually going to be harder to do because of this one right there, and that one should be fine. It's just this bottom one. Did you go on that one? Oh, yeah, no, they definitely go on this way. So left or the right? I don't know. I should probably put on the frame mounts first. Okay, so we got the frame mount. So open her up. I'm hoping that it comes with a nut, which it don't. So okay, so here's the mount. It is pretty thin. I will give it that, but it should be fine. Do we have stickers? Do we got stickers? Are these stickers? Tell me these are stickers. Please tell me that this one's already effed up. Guys, we got stickers. We put our first sticker on the truck. Maybe. Seats are kind of in the way. I gotta hunt for the old nuts for that, which if I remember correctly they should be somewhere in here. Yep, okay. Old mount right here. This is the same thing. Where is the other one? Oh wait, there it is. Found it. Found it. As you can see, the other one's just ripped apart. Alright, so I got these mounts now in place. They are loose, so I can move them around, like twist them as I need. Now we just need to get those mounts right there put into place, and I actually got new hardware in the box for that, so I don't have to use the old rusty bolts over there. Make it all nice and purty. Okay, so I got the driver's side in and on, bolted up, tightened down. Now I'm doing this side. So I learned that you have to get them all started and then tighten it down. Just got it fixed. Oh, bet. Guys, this is sick. Look at this. If it'll focus. Might not focus, but this person said that they got their future educator scholarship, which is really nice. That's amazing. Everyone who's watching this video, comment down below congratulations. Anyway, moving on. Okay, what am I doing? What the hell? If I could be dangled upside down, that would be so much easier. But I can't do that. Do this before you put the engine in. I could take it out, but that's a lot more work and the crane's not moving. No, it'd be really helpful if I actually turned the bolt the right direction. At Mason, turn the bolt the correct direction. Oh my god. I had a really long magnet. Wow, this is so much better. Why did I start doing this? That's why, because it's awkward as hell. Back up here, after that long silence of basically doing nothing. So it's proving itself to be harder. Hey! You got it. Oh, my battery's almost dead. So, okay, on our old camera now. But we got the mount on this side and over here on this side. So now all that's left is the transmission crossmember, and if I remember correctly, I still need to take that off and the one over there too before I could start, because that's where the new crossmember is going to be going. Alright, so we got those two little bracket things out and we're about to set this whole crossmember in. Very exciting, because if we get this in, we could set the engine down and this could now roll in and out of the shop, and we could get started on other things like wiring and the drive shaft, because I need a drive shaft to be able to run. Also, I need to check the rear end and probably weld the diff. But yeah, once we get this set in, we could get started on so much more. It's going to be great. Okay, so new day. I went ahead and got these two bracket plates installed, and I cleaned up the old hardware as well. And this engine and transmission is ready to go in right about now. So I'm going to try to get it as close as I can and then jack the transmission up and put the crossmember under it. At least that's my plan right now. And get this all set down onto these mounts, tighten up the mounts, get these nuts and this nut and washer started on both sides, and see if the radiator will fit. But the problem is with the radiator is the old radiator support. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. But for right now, this thing is ready to drop down in. So right now I need to drop it down, and I'll need to move it back and down finally. So problem, the old shift linkage is catching up. So I'm not going to use it anyway, so I'm going to try to disconnect it maybe. I might have to come back up. But I want to try to disconnect it best I can. It's right down there, so it shouldn't be that hard. Or I might just get the cutter and cut it. Actually, I might be able to get it from right here. So we'll get that disconnected real quick, and yeah, we'll continue. Okay, so problem averted. I just moved the shift linkage above the transmission instead of just taking it off, which it was easier. So let's get back to putting this transmission in. I need to get the transmission jacked up, so do that right now. I actually need to air up this tire. So I'm going to air up this tire right here and get the transmission jacked up with the jack that's holding up that side of the truck. There's something in my boot. So I found out that after a little bit of reading, I put this mount on the wrong side. This mount's supposed to be on the other side. So this is going to have to come up a little bit, and I'm going to have to rearrange the mounts. So I'll be right back after I get that done. Okay, so after a course of a couple hours, the engine's in. It's actually in. And it's actually kind of mounted, not exactly. I still have to actually nut it on, and it actually fits. It sits in like how it's supposed to sit in. Now the transmission is currently on a jack, but we have the crossmember right here, and we'll get all that sorted another time. Now I want to talk about the shifter real quick,
because I feel like that's an important piece to this whole build. So what I was thinking with this being right here, this thing, I was thinking of just having it come straight out of the floor. And okay, so anyway, like I was saying, I think I'm just going to have the shifter come straight out of the floor, probably just a little short thing. And yeah, I just need to get the transmission cross member bolted on, and I still need to get this top end put back together and the front end put back together, and get the radiator situation figured out, because I'm thinking this fan is way too close to the front to be able to fit the radiator in, plus the transmission cooler that I had to take off to get this to be able to bolt on. So the radiator's over here. So it's right here. It was just a simple unscrew those two from the transmission and just pop this off the oil pan. So other than that, I need to get that tire onto the truck so that we don't have a usual flat. Actually, I need one more because this one's a usual flat too. But that one's like sit it for like an hour and it's completely flat. This one sit it for a couple days and it's completely flat. Okay, so like I was saying, I need to get the top end and the front end of the motor put together and that tire put on. I still need to get that tire put on. And in the next video, we should be putting all the components that came on the truck into that truck. And in the next video, the engine should be started, if not cranking. Should be cranking, if not started. Hopefully started. But that will be the end of this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.